There's been a lot of tension and animosity within the context of relationships lately, and that really came to a head yesterday because Mars at the very last degrees of Gemini formed a challenging square to Neptune at the last degrees of Pisces. The risk of this placement, and that's going to affect us for the next few days, is bringing in illusions, deception, and delusion, and it's all about how clearly or not clearly we can see the effect of our behavior on other people. It's really hard to take ownership. Our egos resist at every step of the way. But when the sun is in Virgo, there's a focus on being healthy. And it's not just about your body, it's about your mind, it's about your heart and your spirit. And so we are all kind of collectively going through this period right now of really wanting to do our best. When Mars was moving through Gemini, it was almost like playing things like a chess game. How can I respond to what's happening? How can I navigate any of the weird plays that people seem to be making? There was this huge focus on social dynamics and whether or not there's clarity in conversation. However, Mars moves into Cancer today. And when Mars, the planet of action, moves into Cancer, which is a water sign associated with nurturing, the mother, all things having to do with creating safe space. When Mars is in Cancer, if we don't feel safe, there's a likelihood of having emotionally based arguments or making decisions from a really emotional place. Now, obviously, in our clear moments, we know that making decisions with big emotions doesn't usually turn out very well because our emotions cloud our logic, and the decisions we make usually don't turn out very well. We could burn ourselves, we could burn other people. And so the risk right now is if we get too lost in our perceptions, we might lose the ability to have peripheral vision. So situational awareness is being able to step outside of our own perspective and go, okay, how can I practice noticing the looks on other people's faces? How can I practice noticing the energetic response that I get when I interact with people? How can I practice noticing the things that are happening inside of my head? So it's all about really tapping into our heart space and thinking about how can I make decisions that really cultivate a sense of emotional safety. Another question we can ask ourselves while Mars is in Cancer is, in whose name do I make these decisions? Am I doing this to make myself happy, or am I doing this to make somebody else happy? Today's card is the Page of Pentacles, where we see a young person contemplating this star that they have in their hands. And this card always makes me think about that book from the 60s called Be Here Now. It really is about being present in the moment and observing what's in front of you. Children have a better ability to kind of see things without being jaded. We as adults can get really jaded, and something can happen and we can look at it with clouded vision. We're not necessarily seeing clearly because if we're triggered, if we're thinking about things that happened in the past, we're judging the moment on a lot of things that aren't necessarily happening in the present. So please do be mindful over the next couple of months of whether or not you're bringing more into the situation than is really appropriate. And that goes for other people. You know, if you see people having a really big reaction to something that seems insignificant, that's going to tell you that what you're noticing is only the tip of the iceberg. So do approach yourself and other people and life with as much emotional safety as you possibly can. There's going to be a lot of big emotions right now, so just prepare yourself and let the tears flow if they need to, right? I hope you guys have a great day. I'm Erin, I'm Queen Bee Tarot. Come back every day for your daily tarot and astrology, and I'll see you next time.